welcome to the first ever Rangers Preview Show, which we'll be bringing to you weekly over the course of the season, keeping you bang up to date with everything you need to know throughout the club on and off the pitch. So here we are in unusual surroundings, but with a brand new show. And I'm delighted to say joining me for our first show, it is Alan Hutton. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thank you. You well?
Yeah, very well. It's nice to be back. Something different. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, exactly. Well, as I say, this is a preview show, so we're going to be looking forwards. We will also be looking back as well on the action. We'll talk about the European campaign in just a moment, but let's look forwards because tomorrow, Alan, the first home game of the new season in the Scottish Premiership. It's always a really exciting occasion for the fans. What is it like as a player? Is it something that you also look forward to get off the calendar?
Yeah, 100%. It's always a special moment. Coming out at Ibrox, first game of the season, 50,000 people roaring you on. And it's a little bit different, obviously, for pre-season because it means something. It's a business time. So I'm sure all the players are getting ready today and they'll be desperate to get out on that pitch tomorrow.
And it's Kilmarnock who are the visitors. They've been going well under Derek McInnes, haven't they? Promotion back to the Premiership. They got a late draw last weekend. What will they be looking for tomorrow? What will they bring to the table when they come into this fixture?
I mean, they're going to make it difficult, that's for sure. They obviously play the 3-5-2 system under Derek McInnes, and I think they'll try and be hard to beat. They're not going to open themselves out for Rangers to just attack. So, yeah, it'll be a difficult game. I think if Rangers go and play the way that we know they can, they're fluid up front, I think they can cause Kilmarnock a lot of problems, but take nothing away from it. Derek McInnes will have the abilities up for it and he'll want to see a good performance from them.
Yeah, they certainly will. I mean, we've seen some really good performances, haven't we, in pre-season here at Ibrox. Will the players take confidence in that? Will they try use the space, use the pitch and take the game to Kilmarnock?
Definitely, they have to. And you're right, Emma, against obviously West Ham, Tottenham, who are real difficult opposition. They played some brilliant football, and obviously it's not quite happened so far. It normally takes a couple of games to get right up to speed and 100%, but definitely you need to use the width at this Ibrox pitch to kind of, when you've got a low block and you're playing against it, you need to try and move them about. So it's something I think Gio will be looking for from the players, and the players will look to try and get in behind and make things happen. And
Ryan Kent as well, potentially back from his injury that he picked up last weekend, which again will give everybody a huge boost.
It's a huge plus having them back. I think when there's moments within a game where it's difficult to break teams down, it gives you that little X factor, that's something different where he can take a player on. He drives to the byline, gets the ball into the box. I know he wants to add to his numbers. I think that's something he can improve on, and he'll be looking to do this season. So having him back, I think, is a major boost for everybody here at the club.
These are the games as well, isn't it, like as a fan or as a player, where normally the sun shines, you know, it's sort of late summer, it's nice and warm. It's the days you look back on in December when it's freezing and you think, oh, remember those early days of the season? But it generally just has a great feeling about it, doesn't it, the first home game of the season?
Yeah, of course it does. And you're right, the sun's always out. I was actually expecting it at Livingston to be about 100 degrees, but sticky pitch. But obviously at Ibrox, that's what the fans want. They want those nice summer days. It's just something special about it. And the players react to that. I mean, when they bring the energy, we've seen it here in multiple times, especially in Europe and things, that the team just gets such a lift from it. And they will need it, because at times they need the fans behind them. So the boys will be really looking forward to stepping out there.
What will it be like for some of the new players? They've obviously experienced the atmosphere in pre-season, but it's very different, isn't it, in a competitive match? You know, their first experience of that at Ibrox tomorrow will be something really special. Yeah,
of course it will be. And I think when you play with Rangers, there's that pressure as well that comes with it. You can't really get away with dropping too many points. So they'll obviously be looking forward to it. They'll know they've come into a club that expect trophies, expect to win week in, week out. And it's about taking that on your shoulders and going out and showing everybody what you're capable of. They've been brought to this club for a reason, because everybody thinks they can handle it. They're good with the ball, so it's about just going out there, expressing yourself and showing everybody what you're all about.
That's the thing. So a lot of emphasis on what's going on the pitch tomorrow, but the fan village is also back as well at Ibrox tomorrow, over by the shop, as you can see from the pictures on your screen just now. It'll start at around midday through till 2:30. There'll be big screen content, live interviews with legends and players, and musical performances again. Interactive zones as well, with support from the Soccer Academy team. Freestyle football's face painters, I'd be at the front of the queue for that. And yeah, street food vendors, retail pop-ups and everything else. There's Callum Beattie as well, Nick Doherty and Sam Kerr, some of the women's team. There'll be representation there from them, maybe some first team players down there as well. So Big Marv, always ready for a selfie, isn't he, Big Marv? So yeah, the fan zone is back. So that's something very much to look forward to and to keep your eye out for if you are coming across to Ibrox tomorrow for the game. So there you have it. That's what's happening at the fan zone. Let's talk about Livingston then, Alan, because first game of the season, 3 points on the board, but Rangers didn't have it all their own way, as you would expect. It's a tough opening game, that Livingston away, isn't it? Yeah,
I always knew it was going to be tough. Like I said, with AstroTurf, the sun out, it wasn't watered, it was going to be sticky. And they were going to play defensive. We know that, and try and hit in the break. I thought the first half it was difficult. Rangers didn't move the ball probably quick enough. But I think what Yielda done at half-time made a substitution. Tillman came on, made a difference. Arfield came on, made a difference. Runs in behind, making things happen. And that's when Rangers are at their best. So we knew it was going to be a difficult game, but the main thing was the 3 points and the victory. So tick in the box.
Absolutely, and it's a very different type of game to what the players would have experienced against Tottenham or West Ham, just purely from the way that teams set up against Rangers in the Premiership.
Yeah, of course, it's night and day. When you play these big teams, they're going to play their way, their style. They're going to open up and try and play attacking football. Livingston know that they have to be defensively sound, which they were at times, and try and hit in the break. Nobly played well, obviously scored a decent goal, but it's something Rangers they are aware of moving forward, that teams are going to sit in and make it hard and ask them questions to break them down. But I think with the boys that have come into the team now, the likes of Lawrence, Tillman, these kind of guys, Matondo, Kent, Morelos still to come back, there's a lot of options there, there's a lot of flair to be able to break that down. So I'm looking forward to see how they get on within this team, because I think they can open defences no problem.
And that's the thing, it was their first experience of a Premiership match. You know, you have to take that into account as well, that they don't know what to expect and, you know, they don't have any experience of it.
Of course, well, some of these boys have never played against Livingston, so it's all new to them. They have to understand what it takes to break these kind of teams down. So it will take time, and I'm always one of those ones where, yes, you want to hit the ground running, you want to start fast and start well, but it takes time. It takes maybe 3-4 games to get right up to speed. But I mean, what a wonderful ball for Kent. I mean, that's what he gives you. When we're saying maybe there's not too much movement, he can get on the ball, he can make things happen, chops inside. It's a wonderful cross in Arfield. I mean, that's the runs that we're looking for. Running into space, difficult to pick up, and it's a wonderful header, and it just gets them going again. It gives them a lift, and then they go on to win. So that's what was needed at that moment in time. And I seen the pictures there. It's somebody had Captain Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, he just steps up at the right moments to just. Do you know what? He's one of those guys when I'm watching him and he puts the ball down, I'm thinking this is going in. It's one of those moments, and it's a wonderfully executed free kick, and just what they needed at that moment in time when they were on top.
Yeah, it's a fantastic goal, and interesting him saying as well after the game that Connor Goldson had said to him, because Barisic had tried on one side just to have a pop at and see where it went, and ultimately paid off.
Yeah, of course, but he's so dangerous from those situations, and everybody's starting to think when he gets the ball and he puts it down, it's going to be a goal. Yeah. The expectations are through the roof, and it was no different then when he was on the ball. And 9 times out of 10, when you need something, you need that special moment, it's like Kent, Tavernier, as soon as he gets on the ball, you think he's going to whip a wonderful ball in, and he normally does, and it provided the winner there.
Yeah, well, one player who has joined the club over the summer is Ridvan Yilmaz. He is the 7th signing over the course of the closed season, and he made his debut over in Belgium on Tuesday night. He was finally unveiled officially to the media yesterday, and he's been telling us how much he's already enjoying life at the club.
Ridvan, welcome to Rangers. What does it mean to you to be a Rangers player?
First of all, I'm very happy to be here. I know that I came to a very big club. I know that the football is very important here, and I'm very proud that I am in a football club which is like Rangers.
Can you tell our fans what sort of player you are and what you will bring to the football club?
First of all, I'd like to say that I'm young and I'm very ambitious, and I'm willing to reflect these in the game. And I would like to also say that I play well in attack and in defense, and my technique is good, and I am willing to show these in the game.
Koşu atan bir futbolcu olarak kendimi görüyorum. Bu özelliklerimi sahada en iyi şekilde kullanacağım.
You've had your first look at Ibrox. What have you made of it?
İnanılmaz bir atmosfer olduğunu
I think that
düşünüyorum. İnanılmaz bir
the
hava var.
atmosphere is
Tabii
incredible.
ki taraftarımız geldiği
I
zaman
think that
çok
it will
daha
be
iyi
better
olacağını
with the
biliyorum.
fans.
Çok
I think
tarihi
it's
bir
also
stat.
historical, and I
Dışarıdan da
look
çok güzel
forward
gözüküyor,
to
çok hoş
playing my
gözüküyor.
first game
İçi de aynı
in
şekilde.
Ibrox.
Bir an önce maç oynamayı bekliyorum.
Besiktas are a big club with big pressure. How will that help you at Rangers?
Evet,
Besiktas
Beşiktaş'ta çok
is a
büyük
big
baskı
club,
vardı.
and I believe
Hem
that
de kulüpten hem
Rangers,
taraftarlar.
there will be pressure here in
Burası aynı
Rangers too,
şekilde.
because it's one of the big
Kendi
clubs
ligimizin
here
en büyük
too.
kulübü.
But I believe that
Burada da
I
bir
have
baskımız
the
olacaktır
capability
illaki.
to handle the pressure
Ama bu
here.
baskının altından en iyi şekilde kalkacağımı düşünüyorum.
How have your new teammates welcomed you to Glasgow?
Zaten transfer olduğumu
After the
açıkladığımda,
announcement of the transfer,
kaptan bana
the
yazdı.
captain
Ve
got in
ondan
touch
sonra
with me.
tesiste
I
bulundum.
came
Bana
here, I
çok
met
imkanım
with
oldu.
everyone. Everyone
Herkes
is
çok
really
iyi.
friendly,
Herkes çok
everyone is
pozitif.
really
Herkes güler
positive.
yüzlü.
The coach and everybody else is quite
Futbolcu,
friendly, and I'm
hoca ve
really,
staff
really happy to
hepsi
be
çok
here.
güler yüzlü. Burada olduğum için çok mutluyum.
And lastly, we saw you pictured with Tugay last week. What did he have to say about Rangers?
Yes, I talked to
Tugay
Tugay,
abiyle konuştum.
and he told me that this is a very
Bana
big
buranın
club, and he said
çok büyük bir
that
kulüp olduğunu,
I will really
burada
enjoy
çok
here,
keyif
and he said
alacağımı,
that it's a very
her
ambitious
zaman
club,
tepkiye oynayan, hırslı,
and with an incredible
inanılmaz
fan
taraftar
base,
olan
and he
bir
said
kulüp
that
olduğunu
it will
söyledi.
help me improve myself a lot,
Burada beni çok iyi
and
geliştirebileceklerini söyledi.
hopefully that will be the case
Umarım da
here.
öyle olacaktır.
Ridvan Yilmaz there giving his perspective on joining Rangers. It's always a difficult one, Alan, isn't it, when you get asked what you bring to the team, because you basically got to big yourself up, but he doesn't seem lacking in confidence.
No, he doesn't at all. It's always something that I found very difficult when you get asked that question.
Tell us how good you are.
Yeah, basically, and you have to sit there and say, well, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, so people obviously judge you off the back of that. But no, he seems a confident guy. He's obviously young. He's played with a big club himself.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of pressure there. I've seen it myself when Alan McGregor was over there and I went to see him. So there's a lot of pressure within there. So coming here, that gives him, I think, a helping hand. So really looking forward to see how he performs. I watched a lot of his clips and different pieces when obviously I heard what Rangers were interested. He looks tenacious, he gets in about people, he likes to attack and get forward. So yeah, I think he brings a lot to this team.
Yeah, we've both been lucky enough to experience a Besiktas atmosphere in the past. He certainly won't be overawed by anything that he should experience in Scotland, will he?
No, definitely not. I think the fan base over there are definitely a little bit
Fanatical,
crazy.
aren't they?
Fanatical is
Yeah.
definitely the word. So he'll be used to that. He'll be used to the pressure of winning. So that's only going to help him, obviously, coming into the cauldron, which is Ibrox, because we know the fans get behind the team, they push them on. So he'll be really looking forward to getting out there.
And that's the thing, a fee has been paid for him, so would you expect him to be pushing hard for that starting left-back berth?
You definitely. Obviously, they've spent a lot of money to obviously replace the likes of Calvin Bassey. So I think that's something that Giovanni Van Bronckhorst would want, is competition all over the pitch. That's what he's got at left back. Barisic is in charge at the moment, but I think we've seen enough to know that Yilmaz is going to put a lot of pressure on him. So it's going to be a good battle to see who comes out on top.
Well, Yilmaz made his Rangers debut on Tuesday night over in Belgium against Union SG. Wasn't the best result, to be fair, for him to come off the bench in that defeat, but there was a very interested onlooker in the crowd there, in the form of former Rangers player Thomas Buffel. Of course, he's a Belgian international winger here with Rangers, helped the club get into the last 16 of the Champions League, and he's also going to be a very interested onlooker this coming week for the second leg as well. I caught up with him to get his views on that game in Belgium and what's ahead next week. Well, Thomas, great to see you. Thanks very much for joining us. How are you? What are you doing at the moment?
Fine. Thank you. Great to see you too. I'm doing a few things, but most important, I'm coaching the under-21s of Belgium. It's a nice job with the best talents of Belgium. So we get a lot of good feedback of that, and for the rest, I'm doing as well my coaching license. I'm now in the pro license course, so it's nice.
Let's talk about football then, because you were at the game on Tuesday night. I was actually sitting just behind you, but we didn't manage to see each other at the stadium. But what did you make of it? Obviously a positive result for Union SG.
Yes, it was a great atmosphere. We knew already that there was a great atmosphere in the stadium of Union, but they had to move stadium because their stadium was not allowed to play the European League, and but yeah, they got a lot of supporters as well going to Leuven, and they really helped Union with the back. I didn't know if Rangers expect that it would be like this atmosphere, and that Union is a good team.
Were you surprised by the performances, perhaps of both teams, or did you expect Union to come out like that?
Well, yeah, that's what we see already the last year of Union. That's exactly how they played in Belgium. Even competing with the bigger clubs, against Bruges or Anderlecht, they played exactly the same, and they did very well. They almost win the title, and yeah, it was similar. The game they tactical strong with the 5-man defense, 3 midfielders and then 2 strikers, and yeah, they divide the game in parts. Sometimes they drop back to give them some space, and then fast transition. And here as well, exactly the same. The first half or first minutes of the game, Rangers was a little bit stronger in ball possession, and Union, give themselves a little bit of space to exploit afterwards.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? Obviously, Union have the 2-goal lead to bring here. What must Rangers do, in your eyes, to overturn this deficit and progress through the tie?
Well, I think what I saw as well, that the ball position from the back was not fast enough. I think they have to transfer fast the ball from left to right, and then find the wingers on the side to trying to 1v1, and from there in action to exploit the sides, because now was too slow, and Leuven always Union can always organize themselves and get an overload for pressing. So it will be very important that they shift the ball well much faster, and then find the strikers who may be as well a little bit in a better shape and more confident to accelerate or go 1v1 and make the difference.
You know what it's like playing at Ibrox as well, and we saw exactly last season in the Europa League how the atmosphere helped. Are you confident Rangers can overturn the scoreline at the moment?
Yeah, it's still possible. I think Union as well was backed by their public and by the really good atmosphere, and now it will be the same way around. Rangers have now the full back of the Rangers supporters, who is even maybe a triple what we experienced in Union. So there is still with the back of the Rangers supporters a big chance they can change or turn the tide. Only they will be. It will be important that they can block the counters. They have good players between the lines, and then they find the strikers. So they really need a good rest defense, and from there they need to start from minute 1 with a good pressure and try to overwhelm Union.
That's the thing. Do you expect them to come and protect the 2-goal lead and try and counter-attack?
No, I think they will try to come out as well, and they have some good players between the lines who can keep the ball, turn away from players. So they will not only defend, because they know if they score a goal, that it will be already more difficult for Rangers. So I think Rangers need to overwhelm them by first minute with the back of the public, and when they can maybe score already in the start of the game, it will be maybe paralyze the opponent. On the other hand, they really need to try that they don't get an easy counter against, and then it will be more difficult. So it will be a tactical important game.
Well, our thanks to Thomas for joining us, and of course the little Belgian fly that was going around the interview. He was determined to get involved, wasn't it? Former teammate of yours as well, Al, is it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
half a season maybe, was it, before you moved?
I can't remember exactly how long, but yeah, obviously a really talented player. So it's nice to see that he's doing well and getting back into the coaching. Yeah,
I'm sure he's working with quite a few talented players in the Belgian under-21 setup. They're not short, are they? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they'll be not too bad. They've done no bad so far, so yeah, I'll be looking forward to bringing the next crop through.
Absolutely. Well, he obviously outlined there just what he feels Rangers need to do going forward in the second leg to try and turn this around. Do you agree with what he was saying?
He's spot on, absolutely spot on. I think Rangers were moving the ball far too slowly. It allowed Union to get back into shape, and I think when they did play, obviously, the 5 or the 3 at the back, however you want to look at it. When they come out, you need to move the ball quick to get in behind them. I think that's where Rangers obviously can hurt them, with the pace that they've got on the flanks, with the ability they've got in maybe the number 10 position. So it's about moving quickly, getting into positions, quick in transition. I think if they can do that, and look, we've seen Rangers come out the traps here, early doors within games and score, get on the front foot, be aggressive. If they do all those things, I've got no problem. I think they can get back into it, but it's about the start. They need to go quickly.
That's the thing we've seen in the past, specifically last season in the Europa League campaign, against Dortmund, the very fast starts, Tav sliding in with a goal after just a couple of minutes. It can be done, can't it? And if they have that belief, then you feel that Rangers can turn it on Tuesday. Yeah,
of course it can be done. I mean, we've seen some outstanding performances in European nights, especially here at Ibrox. And it is about the start, it's about being aggressive. I think they will be more attacking. I think they probably will revert back to the formation that we're used to seeing here. So if they can get on the front foot, and that gives the crowd a lift. If you have an early chance or an opportunity, the crowd get right behind you. And it's going to be difficult for Union to obviously deal with that. So if you get an early goal, they're obviously going to struggle. But the longer it goes on, it could become difficult. So it's all about the start for me.
Giovanni spoke about his disappointment after the performance. Will the players use that as fuel in themselves, how disappointed they were, do you think, with their own performances to try and turn this around?
Yeah, well, I would. I'd be hurting, obviously, if it happened to the team I played in here. So you have to use it as a positive. You know you can play better. That's the one thing I'll always say. Yeah, it wasn't their night, but Rangers are a far better team than what they've shown there. So to come back here, turn it on, be on the front foot from word go. We've seen it happen so many times against, it's no disrespect to Union, against better opposition, the likes of Leipzig, Dortmund, Red Star, these kind of teams. So if they play the way they know they can, then of course they can get back into this.
Yeah, we were both working on the game for Premier Sports, and the Union players after the game, off camera, you couldn't see it, but were dancing in front of their fans. I mean, they were really, really enjoying the victory. You'd have to hope, perhaps, from a Rangers perspective, that, they've celebrated like they've gone through, that maybe Rangers do catch them by surprise and try and just ambush from the start.
Well, you spoke about using some. I would use that. That would have annoyed me if I was a player.
That annoyed me.
Exactly, there you go. It would have hurt me knowing that they think that they're already through after a 2-0 victory at home. So I'd be using that to go out and show them, well, hold on a second, we are the top team and we're going to show you exactly what we can do. So again, Rangers are more than capable. I think obviously they'll have a few players back in the squad that could obviously help, but getting that early goal could be key. And again, you need to use that, fire you up, get out there and do the business. Yeah, and I'm sure the fans will also play their part, not just next week, but tomorrow as well, because it's a busy little period coming up for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's side. The season's just started, but the games, as always, are coming thick and fast. There you can see on your screen the upcoming 3 fixtures. Rangers against Kilmarnock to open up the Premiership campaign here at Ibrox. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. kick-off, and as I mentioned earlier, the fan zone will be open from midday at the stadium. Rangers against Union SG, or Union SG as Thomas Buffel called them. Champions League qualifier, that's on the 9th of August, 7:45 kick-off. And then it is Rangers against St Johnstone. So back-to-back home games in the league. That is next weekend and a 3 o'clock kick-off. Well, let's turn our attention now to the B team because, they've made it an absolutely brilliant start to the season. 3 wins in their 4 games so far, and they've scored 14 goals. Conceded 7, but scored 14 goals in their games so far. And as you can see there, they defeated Spartans just on Tuesday. That was their first home game of the season at the Dumbarton Stadium. That was goals from Ross McCausland, Robbie Orr and Connor Allen secured that win. As you can see as well, Cumbernauld Colts, that was a 9-goal thriller on Saturday. Charlie McCann, Connor Young, Zach Lovelace, Lewis McKinnon, Aaron Lyle landed a double, and Charlie Lindsay got the goals in that one. And then East Kilbride against Rangers, the first win of the season. First half goals from Zach Lovelace, Kane, Richard Hosler, Robbie Fraser, and then a second half goal from Connor Young. So the Young Gers secure their first win of the campaign, as I said there, and that was following defeat to the Civil Service Strollers. So a good start there for David McCallum's side. And Alan, as somebody who obviously came through the ranks here at Rangers, how beneficial do you feel it is that the B team are playing in the Lowland League now rather than a sort of reserve league or a youth league? Yeah, I really like the idea. I think it's a good thing moving forward. Obviously, when I was here, it was a case of you played in the 18s or the 23s or whatever, and then if you made it into the first team, then good. But the opportunity for the young boys to go out and get real tested against difficult opposition, playing at a decent level, is only going to put you in good foot moving forward. I think for me, was I ready to step from the 18s to the first team? Probably not. But back then it wasn't about going on loans and going out to play football. You just played with the club you were at. So I think this is a good opportunity for them to go out and get that experience needed to then hopefully have that pathway into the first team.
And that's the thing, it's not even just about the level of play, it's physically as well, isn't it? Playing against grown men as opposed to playing against people your own age.
Yeah, physically it's demanding.
Yeah.
And again, that's what I'm kind of trying to tell you. That's what it's about. Going from a young kid playing against people your own age into the first team, it's very difficult to deal with. So when they get that kind of battle hardened, they're used to playing against men week in, week out. So when they do make that step up, or eventually make the step up, they're ready for it.
And Celtic and Hearts, both have B teams as well, so good representation in the Lowland League as well.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it's good for the fans as well. Like you think Hearts, Celtic, Rangers going to play some of these teams, they bring decent crowds, good football on show. So I think it's just good for Scotland in general, the next generation coming through. And again, it just helps the youngsters prepare for hopefully what's coming in the future.
Well, I mentioned there that they defeated Spartans 3-0. Let's have a look then at how that match unfolded.
Obviously people look at the 3-0 result and the fact that we've carried quite a positive attacking threat tonight, but I think first of all I've got to speak about the defensive moments. I know Lewis was a little bit frustrated after the civil service game, but I thought tonight, I look at the free kick that he's managed to touch around the corner, I thought was outstanding. I thought he's a couple from set plays as well, from corner kicks. If not the first contact, he's had to be lively to moments where he's showed his natural strength, and we knew that. And obviously sometimes it takes a little bit of a knock to I guess, refocus and remind yourself what level you can get to, and I think tonight showed that. I think we've also got to talk about Lewis, McKinnon as well, Connor Allen, who we challenged them, working in terms of we want to work with the speed of play, what we work at, and how we shift the ball across the width of the pitch, and they're getting much better at that. But I think tonight they've had to defend properly. I look at some of the first contacts in the box, interceptions, reacting to second phases, and they really worked hard to protect their goal tonight. So really I think those 3 guys really deserve a lot of credit tonight, and to ensure we managed to see out the 3-0.
Yeah, obviously we're delighted. After the first 3 games we were a bit annoyed at ourselves with how many goals we've been losing, and to get a clean sheet tonight for me especially was a really good thing.
David McCallum really talked you up in terms of your performance tonight and the rest of the defending backline, and pulling off some sensational saves. Talking about the clean sheet, how important was that on top of a win as well?
Yeah, it was so important. Like I'm so frustrated after a lot of the games, because I think that we have defended well for the most part, but it's just been as an individual mistake or lack of concentration that have been killing us losing goals. So it was good to tidy all that up tonight.
Great to see the action there from that win over Spartans. You've just said it, doing an interview at that age, they're very eloquent, the young guys now, aren't they?
Yeah, they handled it very well. I was just saying to you there, I'd have hated to see myself doing one at 17, 18. I'd be cringing watching it back, I think.
But the Dumbarton Stadium as well, the B team are playing their home games there. Familiar surroundings, you were there as a youth, weren't you?
Yeah, it brought back a lot of memories on a freezing cold Monday night, wind howling, playing with the 18s. So, yeah, good times, bring back a lot of memories. Yeah,
it's nice they've got a stadium to call home in inverted commas, isn't it? It's almost that familiarity that you do have your own space to welcome teams to. Yeah, definitely, you need it. You need a home, and always the fans used to turn up as well and cheer on the youngsters. They want to see the next crop coming through, so it was always good to have a base, and you were familiar and taking on the next challenge. It's about 15 minutes from my house now as well, so I've got no excuse not to go and support the B team, but maybe not on a Monday, a windy, rainy Monday night, you know me.
No, we'll see you there, I'm sure we'll see you there throughout the season. Well, I know I've made my bed, I'm going to have to lie in it, aren't I? We saw Zach Lovelace there as well. He joined from Millwall in the summer. A couple of goals in pre-season, a couple of goals already this season. He's come with high expectations, hasn't he? Yeah, real high expectations. Obviously made his debut at Millwall, done really well, and I think there you just see the size of him. He's ready for one so young, but he's a natural finisher. He wants to get into spaces where he's going to score goals, and even there, head down, knows where the goal is, finds the target. I think he's one definitely for the future. What I've seen so far anyway, it looks like he's got a bright future, and just the play, all-round play is just so easy for him at this moment in time, and you want to just see him progress. The standard is going to be difficult against him, like we said about playing against men again, week in, week out. It's only going to get him better, and hopefully in the upcoming season or beyond, we'll see him breaking into the first team. 16 years of age though, I mean it's nothing at all. He looks very mature and plays with a mature head, you'd say. I mean, seeing him there at 16 and remembering what I was like at 16, it's so different. I was honestly nothing like him there, but he just looks ready, he's robust, he's got good movement, and he knows where the goal is. It's the most important thing, and he's confident. You can tell the way he carries himself that he's confident, so hopefully we can see him make the step up. He's so young, so we obviously have to give him time. The coaches will know when he's ready, but really looking forward to seeing what he can produce in the future. Yeah, 21 goals in 19 youth games for Millwall last season. As I say, already got a couple in pre-season and 2 already this season. Another one who's caught the eye as well is Connor Young. He signed from Hibs. He's already got a couple of goals as well. And Rangers really, over the summer, have put together a good pool of talent that they've brought in some new young signings. And as you can see from the performances, they look like they're gelling and fitting in nicely already. Yeah, it's been really good so far. I think that's what you need. It's not, well, of course, it's about the first team, and that's the priority, but you need to see the next group of players coming through, and if that's bringing in talent from different teams, then so be it. Obviously they've got a good recruitment set up for the youths. They've already got really good players within that, so to put it all together, to come together and show the performances that they have been doing, they play like the first team. You see the way they move the ball about, everybody knows exactly their jobs and roles, so when they are ready to take the step up, they're used to it, they're used to the surroundings, so yeah, I think it's looking good for the future. Up next for the B team as well, it's Cowdenbeath, and who's the manager at Cowdenbeath, Alan? Maurice Ross.
It's
I'm
Maurice
sure he'll be looking
Ross.
forward to that one.
Absolutely, yeah. Maurice Ross, of course, the former Rangers defender, now the manager at Cowdenbeath. And again, Rangers will just be desperate to keep that winning run going. I think Cowdenbeath have just managed 1 draw in their 4 games so far, so not a great start to the season for them. But you mentioned Mo will be desperate, won't he, to try and get a result against Rangers? Yeah,
I mean, I think it's been probably a difficult period of time for Mo Ross and not too many victories, and he's trying to implement his style and his philosophy. It's maybe been difficult, but I think for Rangers, it's about keep moving forward, keep the momentum going, bringing these players on, and look, Maurice Ross probably won't hide it. He'll be absolutely desperate to get one over on them. I mean, he's comedy gold in his interviews if anybody out there wants to watch them. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Yeah, certainly will. So we've already touched on the first team fixtures. Let's have a look then for the Rangers B team, because a busy old period for them as well, as we just mentioned. Cowdenbeath next up on the 6th. That's at the moreroom.com stadium. Gosh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Then it's Spartans against Rangers B. That's the SPFL Trust Trophy at Ainsley Park on the 10th, 7:45 kick-off there. And then it's Caledonian Braves against Rangers on August the 13th. And that one is a 3 p.m. kick-off. Well, the Rangers women get their campaign underway this weekend as well. And of course, they come into this season as the defending champions of the SWPL. It's always a slightly different challenge, isn't it, Alan, when you come in as defending champions? What's that pressure like when you start a season, not as the chasers, but the ones being chased? Yeah, exactly. You said it there. It seems a little bit easier when you're chasing, but now it was an amazing achievement to go and win the league. The difficult thing is now backing that up, because everybody's shooting for you. They want to bring you down a peg or two. So it's about having that confidence in your own ability, the team's ability to keep moving forward and try and retain the title. They were brilliant last season. Let's hope they can go and do it again. So again, looking forward to see how they progress. It is going to be difficult to obviously win back-to-back titles, but I'm sure they've got that in their sights, and it'll be something that they're looking to achieve. Absolutely. Well, never ones to stand still. They've also been strengthening the squad over the summer as well. And one new signing, Hannah Davison, has come in from AIK over in Sweden, and she's been telling us how much she's enjoying life at Rangers.
Hannah, welcome to Rangers. How do you feel to be at the club?
I'm very excited to finally be here, and just seeing everything and settling in has been really exciting.
And tell us a little bit about your career so far.
Yeah, I went and played at university in Chicago, and then was drafted to the NWSL with the Chicago Red Stars, and played there for 2 years and got my professional career started, and decided to go overseas to play in Sweden with AIK, and then am just looking to continue to climb and get better, and so I've now found the opportunity to play at Rangers.
Yeah, and what was it about Rangers that made you decide this was the right move for you?
I think just seeing especially how they did last year and how much investment they've put into women's football is really exciting to see, and they're kind of spearheading where women's soccer should be going, and it just being a fantastic place. It's super professional, so it was a great fit for me.
Yeah, and we obviously are here at the training centre. What have been your first impressions of the facilities firsthand?
They are incredible. I wasn't expecting them to be so big, and everything is just fantastic. Food and the fields and the grass, the turf, everything has been great, and it's filled with a lot of amazing, friendly people.
And how much do you feel being in this environment can help get the best out of you as a player as well?
Yeah, that's what I think my biggest excitement comes from, is the professional development that they have, and already being here, getting individual sessions in with the coaches, and getting a training plan. I think that it's going to take my career exactly where I want to go.
And what kind of player are you? What can the fans expect from you?
I think I'm a player who always gives 100%. I'm a center back, and so I'm very aggressive. I like to tackle. I'm calm out of the back, and yeah, just in the box defending, in the air, on the ground, winning a lot of duels.
And you have been here now for a few days. How's it been meeting your teammates and getting in with the squad?
Yeah, everyone's been really nice, from the coaches to the teammates, just to all the staff that works at the facilities. Always someone lending a helping hand, and getting settled in has been really easy.
And obviously the start of the season is approaching quickly now. How excited are you to get into the competitive games here?
Very excited. I'm excited. We're heading to Spain in a few days, and just to get more time learning the girls and learning the way that we play, and getting more touches on the ball. Very excited to start and get some action and see the fans and just get the whole experience.
We saw there in that VT some very warm weather, sunny shots from the training sessions. The Rangers women were over in Spain for their final preparations ahead of this week's big kick-off against Glasgow Women. Let's hear from Malky Thompson, then the coach, on just how he feels that the pre-season preparations have gone.
Malky, the squad are obviously at the end of pre-season now and had the camp here in Spain. How beneficial has this few days been for the squad?
Enormously. I think having the opportunity to come away as a group and to come to great facilities at Pinatar, so we're really grateful and respectful of the fact that we've got this opportunity to travel as a group and be together. So the 6 days has been valuable.
And obviously on the pitch it's vitally important at this stage of the season too, but off the pitch, how important has that side been and the squad really bonding?
Well, I think we're really big, and we always have been, in relationships and allowing those relationships just to grow, rather than forcing it and pushing people together. And they've really not just went into their own group. There's been a kind of, the young ones have mixed with the older ones have mixed in. So it's not just been like, there's been a real kind of spread of different people meeting each other. It's been really good.
And over the course of the last few weeks of pre-season, how pleased have you been with the work from the squad?
Yeah, excellent. I think their focus. I think they've got a desire and a hunger, and when we have our talks with the group, we're always on about striving and trying to improve and every day pushing each other and driving each other. And I think that's came right through.
And a number of new additions have joined as well. How happy have you been to get them into the group over the summer?
It's been fantastic, and we're great. We've travelled together. We've got to know each other, if you like, in a neutral venue, because we're all here. We're all new to Spain, so we've been put together. So it's been great.
And Jane Ross obviously got injured in one of the pre-season friendlies. How is she doing?
Jane's fine. We actually spoke to Jane straight after the game, and it was fantastic. And we had a real test against Atletico, and I think we gave a good account of ourselves. The girls weren't happy getting beat, but they never are, and because they're winners. But straight away, one of the girls had mentioned, we have to phone Jane, we have to tell her and speak to her. So a few of them had spoke to Jane on the phone.
And it's obviously been announced now that home games will be played at Broadwood this season. What do you make of that move?
I think it's great. I think it's going to allow us to try and grow the fan base. The facilities there are excellent. We'll have the car parking and stuff like that, so it'll be easier access for people to travel and come and see the games and view the games.
And season tickets have been launched as well, which is a first again for the women's programme. How important will that be too, as you say, to continue to grow the game? Yeah, well, I think it's all about the visibility of it, so I think releasing that, and you guys have done a great job in the media. I think at Rangers we're always talking about the players, and we're always talking about what we're doing and stuff like that, but behind the scenes is really good, and the release of the season tickets and the exposure that we get is only going to help us as well on the pitch. And in terms of the SWPL this season, the format's obviously slightly changed, more teams in the league. Are you expecting it to be even more competitive this year? Yeah,
I think so, and I think you can see with some of the signings, there's teams that are making other signings, so the game's just going to get stronger and stronger as the years go on, and so it should, and it's up to us. We've got a duty of care to make sure that we're representing the game in the same way that the men's game's been represented over the years. So the future's looking good.
And the season obviously does start on Sunday with Glasgow Women. How ready are your squad for this game?
Yeah, I think we've really tuned into the finer detail in terms of the reasons that we came out here. We came out here for various things, not just the technical, tactical, physical element of it, but to bond and get together. And it really just all culminates in us having a real mindset to be focused. We're going to play 48 games this year. There's a lot of games to be played and get through. So that preparation, the first part of any process is really important. And I think we've went about it in the right manner, and we're certainly confident, and we're going to look forward to our first game.
Great to hear from Malky Thompson there, and thanks to Louise Shaw, who did those interviews with the women's team, and she's raised the bar really with the Rangers branded note cards.
Where's
I mean,
yours?
I've just got a plain clipboard. You know, next, and there's to be an inquiry here into the admin. So next show, wait for it, right? Rangers branded cards. So she's taken it to a new level. But you saw there, Alan, you know, the sort of professionalism that's within the women's squad now, having turned fully pro a couple of seasons ago, the club. And I mean, Broadwood, new home for the women's team. There's going to be season tickets on offer. I mean, things have never really been better. And of course, after the Euros this summer, women's football's really on a massive high, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think that's the way it should be. Obviously, the women's team are based now at the training facility. They're getting the best surroundings, which they should be, and it's only going to help them progress. I think moving to Clyde gives them, the fans, an opportunity to come in, because it's obviously difficult at the training ground for fans to come in. And I think moving forward, for young girls watching them, you have to see it. You have to go to the games and experience it all. That's why you want to go and be a women footballer. So I think it's good for them. Malky Thompson talks a lot of sense there. And as you rightly said, look at the crowds at the England national team winning the Euros. That's what you inspire to be like. So it's moving forward. I think it's in a really good place, and the women's team look really up for it to retain that trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. And playing in the Champions League as well, the women's team for the first time against Ferencvaros. That in itself is just another huge step forward for the club, given it's, you know, a women's team has never done that for Rangers Football Club before, but yet here they are, a squad assembled as well to go and try and put a bit of a run together. And as Malky was saying there, you know, the preparation's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, what an experience for everybody involved. I think that's the next step, the next level for the women's team to go on and take on the Europeans' best. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how they progress and move forward. Obviously a few signings coming in, add that competition that's always needed to get to the next level. So it's going to be difficult for them, obviously. They've got a lot of competition within the league, but I think they can go and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw in that interview with Malky some pictures of Catherine Hill as well, back at the club. And she's been named the new women's team captain. So congratulations and good luck to her in that role. Let's look ahead then to the fixtures. As I say, they kick off the new SWPL season this weekend against Glasgow Women. Fantastic. 4 p.m. kickoff. That one is on the 7th. Then it's Aberdeen away. Again, Aberdeen came up into the SWPL last season and did brilliantly in their first season in the top flight. Rangers up against them on the 14th, 2 o'clock kickoff in that one. And then it's that Champions League game that I mentioned, Ferencvaros. Well, that's, I think, how you pronounce it.
You've done it really well, Emma,
Thanks very much. I think that's TBC just on what's happening and when and where that one will be played. But we will, of course, let you know in due course when that one is happening. But all the best to the ladies' team when they get underway on Sunday against Glasgow Women. So that's about it from us. I think we've rambled on enough, haven't we?
Yeah, good show though. Good first show. So
looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Always looking for a reaction, so hopefully it'll be a good performance and a winning one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you very well know, a week is a long time in football. There's a lot to happen between now and next week when we'll be back with another preview and review show of the action that has unfolded. In the meantime, stay up to date with everything happening at the club on the social media channels and of course on the official website rangers.co.uk. For now though, it is bye from us. Thank you very much, Alan, and we'll see you next week.